A structured 50-year reparations implementation plan ensures an organized and effective distribution of funds while preventing economic instability. The plan is divided into 3 key phases. This would ensure that the impact is sustainable and long-term. The focus will be on establishing necessary infrastructure, providing immediate economic relief, and beginning systemic reforms. Key action number 1. Creation of the Reparations Trust Fund. Establish an FBA-led financial institution to manage reparations. Initial funding, $1 to $3 trillion from corporate reparations tax, treasury bonds, and wealth tax. Structured investment in black-owned banks and financial institutions to prevent wealth extraction. Key action number 2. Immediate direct payments and financial relief. Initially, $100,000 to $150,000 lump sum payments for eligible FBAs. Universal basic income of $2,000 per month for economic stability. Debt relief. Complete student loan forgiveness for FBAs, mortgage and predatory loan buyouts for victims of housing discrimination. Key action number 3. Homeownership and land redistribution. Launch 40 acres land program with government-backed grants. Provide zero-interest home loans for homeownership expansion in black communities. Title restoration and reparative land grants for families impacted by historical land theft. Key action number 4. Business development and economic growth initiatives. $100 billion allocated to support black business incubators and low-interest business loans. Federal contract prioritization for FBA-owned businesses. Establish tax-free business zones to reduce financial barriers to black entrepreneurship. Key action number 5. Criminal justice and social reforms, automatic expungement of non-violent criminal records for FBAs, compensation for mass incarceration survivors, payments of $50,000 per year for those wrongfully imprisoned, abolition of cash bail and reform of racist policing practices. Key action number 6. Education and workforce development, immediate student loan debt cancellation for FBAs, tuition-free college, vocational training and workforce development programs, $50 billion investment in HBCUs for infrastructure expansion and scholarship programs. Key action number 7. Healthcare and social services expansion, universal free healthcare for FBAs, mental health and PTSD treatment programs to address racial trauma, launch of Black Maternal Health Initiative to reduce childbirth disparities. The focus: long-term investment in wealth-building programs and institutional transformation. Key actions: 1. Continued annual direct payments and financial stability, recurring $50,000 to $100,000 per year per eligible FBA in structured installments, funded by progressive wealth taxes and corporate reparations contributions. 2. Scaling up homeownership and land ownership. Ensure 75% homeownership rate in black communities through targeted grants. Expand FBA-led real estate investment trusts to prevent land loss and gentrification. 3. Corporate and private sector accountability. Mandatory reparations contributions from major industries, finance, insurance, tech, real estate, federal contract priority for black-owned businesses, implementation of anti-discrimination economic policies to sustain progress. 4. Expansion of business development programs. Increase the Business Development Fund to $500 billion. Scale up black banking and financial institutions to ensure capital stays within FBA communities. Implementation of tax-free financial zones for high-growth black business sectors. 5. Education and workforce transformation. $250 billion investment in HBCUs to expand programs and research, vocational and tech training programs in high-demand industries like STEM, healthcare, and AI, guaranteed employment pipelines for black graduates in key industries. 6. Healthcare and infrastructure expansion. $500 billion in hospital and healthcare investments for black majority communities. Development of specialized black medical research centers to address racial health disparities. Black Mental Health Fund. Nationwide access to free therapy and trauma care. Phase 3, which spans over 15 years and beyond, focuses on ensuring reparations benefits are protected for future generations and securing black economic sovereignty. Key actions include: first, the Reparations Trust Fund becomes a permanent institution for sustaining wealth among foundational black Americans. This is coupled with generational wealth-building programs to ensure long-term benefits and financial education initiatives for sustainable wealth management. Second, a $10 trillion investment in Africa and Caribbean partnerships will foster trade and economic ties. This includes the development of Black-controlled export-import networks and the establishment of the African Diaspora Economic Alliance to create international business ties. Third, a constitutional amendment will protect reparations gains from being repealed. Legislation will ensure long-term Black wealth security and protection against predatory policies, with guaranteed representation of foundational Black Americans in major political and financial institutions. Lastly, nationwide policy and social protections will include the abolition of predatory lending and economic discrimination laws. Black-owned financial institutions will be established to issue reparations-backed loans, and tax exemptions will be implemented for generational wealth transfers within foundational Black American families. Projected outcomes after 50 years include the elimination of the racial wealth gap, securing economic independence for foundational Black Americans, and Black financial institutions controlling over $10 trillion in assets. Generational wealth will be protected through constitutional reforms, and corporate accountability and reparations will be enshrined in law. The impact on Americans and taxpayers can be understood through a breakdown of the 50-year reparations implementation plan. A $100 trillion reparations plan over 50 years is a major investment in correcting historical injustices. While concerns about economic impact and taxation exist, this structured approach ensures that reparations do not overburden middle and low-income Americans but instead stimulate economic growth, job creation, and national prosperity. Key points include no direct increase in income taxes on middle and lower-class Americans. Ultra-wealthy individuals, those with a net worth over $50 million, will contribute a small wealth tax. Fortune 500 companies will pay a 1% reparations tax, a fraction of what many already receive in corporate tax breaks. Government bonds will allow investors to contribute and receive returns over time. Additionally, redirecting military and prison spending into reparations funding will be pivotal. Economic growth will lead to increased tax revenue, reducing dependence on higher taxes. In conclusion, the 50-year implementation strategy ensures that reparations are not just financial transfers, but a full-scale restructuring of economic, social, and political systems to eliminate racial wealth disparities permanently. By phasing investments, protections, and economic development, the plan avoids economic instability and creates a self-sustaining Black economy. If you are interested, we can create content focusing on why these measures will not affect American taxpayers. If this meant anything to you or you have questions, please comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for joining us until reparations comes.